I'm not too sure if that's an appropriate name for a horse. But anyway, and I literally put my hand on the back of her bum and she started trying to buck me. So what I like to try and do, I like to try and get as much one-on-one time with the people that are closest to me and the people that I trust the most. And in Central Park, there was all these carriages with horses. And I saw them from afar. I thought, oh, God, do go and speak to those people that you probably think, yeah, I should probably go and speak to them. I'm sure there's one person in everybody's mind that they think, yeah, I could really do with having a one-on-one conversation with them. Welcome to episode 16 of the Just Horse Riders podcast. Last episode, we had my little sister on who was taking us through some of the hardships and some of the amazing stories from her animal rescue. Some of the comments that she got when she shared the video on her Facebook page were just phenomenal. It just really shows how many animals she's helped and how many people have now got a full home with all these animals in it, which is just great in my opinion. But yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I filmed the last episode. We've had a lot going on. We've had the Foal come, who is absolutely amazing and doing great. We've had the 2 new horses, which have now settled in very well. I also took a bit of time off to recharge my batteries. And we have 2 new brands on our website as well. So a lot to tell you about. First, I want to talk to you about the horses. So they arrived. Obviously, we had to stable them and worm them. And they were in the stables for about a week before we turned them out. And then the day finally came, didn't it? We're all very nervous, all very excited. So we took the 2 horses, Rock and Roses and Princess Grace Apple. I like Rock and Roses, but I did not. Yeah, Princess Grace Apple, I'm on the fence. I'm not too sure if that's an appropriate name for a horse. But anyway, we took them to the field and turned them out, and it was all going swimmingly. They were galloping up and down ever so nicely. Saw the movements in them, absolutely beautiful. They were so happy to be out. And then all of a sudden, bang, through the fence, onto the main road. Yeah, it was quite an emotional, quite a frantic day. I've never seen my wife swear so much. There is a video actually on it. She was she was very, very worried. But anyway, yeah, Rock and Roses, for some reason, I don't think she did it on purpose. They were all galloping around, so Rock and Roses was in front, and then Princess Grace Apple was behind her. We'll just call her Princess. And they got to a corner, and Princess sort of didn't stop, and Rock and Roses didn't know where to go, and just thought, "Oh dear, I'm just going to go through." So I don't think she was actively trying to get through the fence. I think she just sort of had the momentum, and it had to go somewhere, and it went that way. Luckily, thank goodness, no injuries. She was completely fine. She had a slight cut on her leg. It's all healed now. But yeah, she got onto the road, onto a main road, and it's a 60-mile-an-hour road. And luckily, there was no cars coming up and down that at that point. But she did really well. She sort of got a bit like excited and then calmed down, and let me sort of catch her and then put her back into the field. But it was actually really funny because the corner where that she went through, neither of them went there anymore. So like after a week or so, all the grass was still overgrown in that area. I think they clearly know not to go there again. But yeah, I suppose that's one great thing about horses is that they aren't stupid creatures. They're very intelligent and have a very, very good memory. But yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks. Shan's started doing a lot of work with them. We're putting up a lot of videos on our YouTube page, so you can see what sort of work she is doing with them. A lot of desensitization work, which basically means she has a plastic bag and a long stick, and she waggles it about in front of them until they calm down. And then she does it again. No, but it is a method from TRT, I believe. He has some great methods and how to train your horse, and this is one of the methods that she's picked up from him. She also has like clappers as well, where she tries to sort of desensitize them to flappy things, loud things, and it's really working. You can see the progression in them, but I can also see that they're improving, which means that we are going to be looking to start selling them soon, which is a shame because they both have such lovely personalities, and I don't know, getting a bit attached to them, but I suppose that's what happens. That's how you end up with with lots of horses. You buy them for one reason, and then get attached to them, and you end up with 40, which I hope isn't going to happen because I think I may have to move out of my bedroom. But either way, yeah, so she's making really good progress with them. She's going to start taking some images and videos of them and putting them up on our YouTube channel so you can all have a look on there. And then hopefully in a couple of weeks, we should start getting to the selling phase just to see where we're up to with them. So that's going to be really, really interesting. We will be putting their full bio imagery videos on our website. So if you are in need of a new horse or looking to start a new project, maybe this one could be for you. Have a little look. See, I don't know what you need. But yeah, with moving on to our little foal. Little Soul the Foal. I've just realised that rhymes. Yeah, but her name's Soul, and she's absolutely amazing. She is so gorgeous, and her temperament is just phenomenal. Now, I don't know whether that's because Dana, her mum, is really relaxed. I don't know. I'm not too sure if that's passed on genetically or it's something that's learned, but every morning, and I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, every single morning when I wake up, the kids, Aya and Lincoln, are already in the field with Dana and the foal, petting the foal. And again, we've got loads of videos of Soul, the foal, just lying down and her letting them stroke her and touch her. I've been around foals, but they've always been very skittish and a bit nervous. And she isn't. She's very relaxed, and you could put your whole arms around her, no problem. However, there was a point where we were moving them to another field again. There's another video on YouTube of it, and I literally put my hand on the back of her bum, and she started trying to buck me. I couldn't believe it. You're like less than a month old, and you're already trying to kick my head off. So it's like I hope that that's something she does grow out of. But I'm sure she will. She's lovely. They actually had to take Dana to see a vet yesterday, and we had to obviously put Soul and Dana into a trailer. Now, again, just something so amazing. It's like, obviously, we don't know how they communicate, but we loaded Dana in, and I was in the trailer with holding Dana, and Soul was just sort of like, I don't know what to do here. I'm not too sure. She wasn't scared or anything. She just like, I don't know what to do. How do I do this? Because obviously there's a ramp and it feels different. And but Dana was in there and constantly looking round at her, looking behind her, going, sort of, come on, hurry up, get in. Anyway, after about 15 minutes, she eventually got in, and she travelled amazing. And these little things that we're doing, with the kids that go up to her and stroke her, and she hasn't got a problem with it. Now she knows that she can go in a trailer. She's done it again today. They had to go back to the vet. Everything's fine, just for a checkup, and yeah, no problem. And Soul is, I'm really, really looking forward to seeing her develop and also sharing it with you guys, because I really do think she's going to be something special. And she looks gorgeous as well, but obviously we're only at the start, so there's still a long way to go with that one. So like I said, I took a little break and I actually went to New York. I went with my mum, just me and her. I went partly because I've never been to New York, so I was very, very lucky to go. Beautiful, beautiful city. I'll go into that in a minute. And the main reason why I went was because I got to spend 4 days with my mum, Sharon Groose, who was on this podcast before. As anybody who's watched that podcast can tell just how much of a special person she actually is. And I'm probably going off a bit, off subject here, especially with the horsey theme. But I find it so amazing that there's all this knowledge everywhere, with your dad, with your grandparents, with your aunties, with your friends, and, whoever else, and then eventually at some point that knowledge disappears. It goes, and you can't download it, you can't save it anywhere. So what I like to try and do, I like to try and get as much one-on-one time with the people that are closest to me and the people that I trust the most. So I can, it sounds a bit selfish, but just so I can learn from them and understand them more. And I feel as though when I do that with people, I get closer to them because I understand them more as a person. I understand what they've been through. And also, I don't make the same mistakes that they make. Mistakes are very, very expensive and they're very, very important to build character. Now, if you've got all these people around you who have made mistakes, who have had life experiences, speak to them. It doesn't just have to be about horse training. It could be about anything. Like my dad, I spoke to him about his life, and I've learned a lot of him. I spoke to my mom about literally every single thing from when she was a child right up until now. Obviously, there's going to be more than just 4 days that I need in order to get that. But I feel as though now I understand her more, and I feel more prepared to take on the world. And I think a lot of people don't do that. I think a lot of people will look at someone and go, well, what do you know? There's so many people around me, even our neighbors, who I wish I could download the information that they've got in their heads, because they've done so much, they've been through so much. So, if you do have anybody in your family, your mom, your dad, your neighbor, your grandparents, whatever it is, and you've never really had the one-on-one talks with them, try it. Go out for a lunch, go out for dinner, go and spend a day with them, go to the Lake District, go somewhere where you can just have a walk and have a good conversation. Not about you, about them. And ask them questions, because you'll learn a lot. When you ask questions and you listen, you learn a lot. I learned so much off my mum on that trip, and I absolutely loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah, I'm getting all emotional now. But yeah, when we were in New York, it was amazing. There's 11 million people in New York. I couldn't believe it. But the streets were clean. People were friendly. Everyone was lovely. But we did go to Central Park. And in Central Park, there was all these carriages with horses. And I saw them from afar. I thought, oh, God. Because I hate when you see some of the horses that these carriages are being pulled by, and they just look terrible. Like, I feel so bad on them sometimes. But I've got to tell you, these horses looked fabulous. Their coats were shiny. They were muscular. They looked interested. They didn't, when you see a horse, they looked depressed. They all looked amazing. So well done, New York, for displaying the proper way to have horse-drawn carriages. Not that we went on them, because still I feel very, very guilty on them carrying this sort of weight. But but yeah, we had a great time in New York, and Mum, if you're watching, it is one of the most special holidays that I've ever been on. So thank you for that. But speaking of my mum, when she was on here, we spoke a lot about the BHS, the British Horse Society. And one of the ladies at the British Horse Society actually saw the podcast, and she has messaged me. So at some point in the future, well, not too distant future, two ladies from the BHS are going to be coming on the podcast to discuss about what they do and all the activities that they do inside their society. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. I'm not going to say too much more, but yeah, really looking forward to them coming on. It's going to be a really special podcast, that one. And last but not least, we got 2 new brands in on our website as well. We got Toggy. So Toggy are a brand actually we used to stock years ago, but then we ended up not buying enough of them. We were very small back then. But now we've got them back in, and some of the items are absolutely gorgeous. They've got new boots on there and clothing, and when I was going through it, I was like, yeah, I'd wear that. And I don't use, I'm just very plain. I wear pretty much a black t-shirt and jogging bottoms or jeans every day. But yeah, some of the stuff is really, really nice. So take a look on there if you get a chance to. And also Champion. So Champion helmets and body protectors. Now, with safety gear, I don't particularly like selling it, especially online. I used to sell it in the shop that we used to have on Carrington because we could fit it and it was fine. However, I will be putting this disclaimer out there. If you've not had your riding hat fitted, and you don't know what size you are, do not buy it online. Go to a fitter. Make sure you get it fitted correctly, because again, at the riding school, when we used to have kids that used to buy it online, it'd come and it'd flap on the head. Like, parents used to think, oh, we'll buy a hat for them to grow into. No, it doesn't work like that. You need to make sure that the hat you are buying is going to do the job if you fall off. Because at the end of the day, you only get one skull. You can buy another hat. You can't get another skull. Unless you're in some sort of Marvel universe, which, we're not. So if you are getting a hat for a first time, please go to a hat fitter. If you do know your size, that's a bit better. But again, different models have different shapes. So it is always better to buy it in a store to get it fitted. I understand that's not possible for most or some customers. So if you do need any help, please message us and we'll do our best to help you. Again, same with the body protectors. We'll do our best to help you, but you're always better getting it fitted. But that's it this week. It's been a really nice podcast, and I hope you all do go and speak to those people that you probably think, I should probably go and speak to them. I'm sure there's one person in everybody's mind that they think, I could really do with having a one-on-one conversation with them. Message them. They'll probably really, really love it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I won't take as long to put the next episode out, but who knows. But thank you so much for watching again, and we'll see you next time. Bye.